When three friends discover a machine that predicts the future through photographs, they find that everything might not be as it seems. The movie begins with a building manager named Finn being called by one of his tenants to fix her toilets. Finn, who had been going through a creative block, drags himself away from his canvas and heads out while his friend Jasper places his bets for a dog race. Sometime later, Finn grabs a couple of chairs to set up in his apartment for a party he and his girlfriend Callie are hosting. He gets approached by the building security guard Big Joe, who offers to help, and in turn, Finn invites him to the party as well. Back at the apartment, Callie informs Finn that a man called Mr. B has been late in paying rent and that she is going to check up on him. Big Joe, who had overheard their conversation, tells Finn that Mr. B has not moved his car in a week and has been getting tickets. When Callie goes to Mr. B's apartment, he does not answer the door, leaving her with no choice but to use her keys to get inside. There, she notices that the apartment is empty, but something is off. Meanwhile, back in their apartment, Finn and Jasper get into an argument about Jasper's gambling problem. However, they are interrupted by Callie, who asks them to check Mr. B's apartment. To their surprise, they find a wall filled with pictures of their living room and a giant machine bolted to the floor. Callie claims that the machine is a camera since it is facing their living room and could be what Mr. B was using to take their pictures. Just then, Finn finds another photograph that seems to be the most recent one of their living room, with a knocked-over coat rack. He does not remember knocking the coat rack over, but brushes it off when Callie tells him that it probably happened while they were drunk. The three of them return to their apartment, and Finn calls their landlord to ask him about Mr. B, while Callie gets ready to leave for work. On her way out, she accidentally knocks over the coat rack, and realizes that the picture was from this moment. Once again, the three of them head back to Mr. B's apartment and try to come up with an explanation for what they have discovered. Jasper jokes about the machine taking pictures 24 hours in advance, and Finn does not think he is far off from the truth. At that moment, the machine starts up again and takes another picture. Finn picks it up and finds that the picture is from the night of the party they were supposed to have. He starts lining up the pictures and realizes that there is one picture for every day of the week. Callie and Finn start looking for paperwork left behind by Mr. B that would explain the mechanisms of the machine. Callie comes across Mr. B's journal and reads it out for everyone. In the journal, Mr. B talks about seeing his death and claims that he knows about the cardinal rule of time and causality, where no attempts should be made to change the future, but he might have to go against the rule. Callie reveals that the last entry had been a week ago, which makes Mr. B's disappearance even more suspicious. Just then, Finn figures out that all the pictures were taken at 8 o'clock every night. Jasper suggested they should look for Mr. B if they want any of their questions answered. At that moment, Finn remembers seeing Mr. B's hat in front of his storage unit and leads his friends there. The moment they enter the unit, they notice Mr. B's burnt face on the floor. Finn immediately wants to call the police, but Jasper does not want to since he can now use the machine to predict where to place his bets. When his friends remain quiet, Jasper reminds them of the money he'd be bringing in. Callie raises another point and reminds Finn that they cannot cancel the party, which is what they will have to do if they call the police. Mr. B had gone against the event shown in the picture too and had ended up dead. Everyone finally agrees to wait until after the party to see what they will do. The next night, Jasper takes drugs during the party and offers them to Callie as well. At 8 on the dot, the machine takes another picture. Finn goes to check on it and finds a picture of the next game's prediction pinned on their window. He realizes that once again, they will have to follow the event shown in the picture or suffer the consequences of going against the cardinal rule. The next morning, Jasper places his bet just as he had seen in the picture, and Finn starts a new painting as he had seen in the picture last night. To make sure that they don't get caught, Callie moves Mr. B's car around and picks up his mail so that no one gets suspicious. One day, while Finn is looking around in Mr. B's apartment, the landline goes off, and he hears a woman leaving him a message. She informs Mr. B that she has received his letter and wishes him well before hanging up the phone. Feeling guilty, Finn leaves the apartment and runs into Big Joe, who asks him about Mr. B. He ends up lying and says that Mr. B has been hospitalized and that they are looking after his plants. Later that day, the next picture comes out at 8 again, but to everyone's surprise, Jasper and Callie are kissing in front of the window while Finn paints a new canvas. Seeing this, Finn wants to destroy the machine, but knows that it's too late now since the picture has already been printed. Once again, the three of them recreate the painting, but Finn remains angry, not pleased with the fact that his girlfriend has kissed his best friend. The next day, another picture reveals Jasper's bookie, Ivan, sitting in their apartment. This does not sit well with Finn, and he angrily asks Jasper why Ivan is in their apartment, but he has no idea. Jasper spends the night feeling anxious about Ivan's arrival and takes several pills to calm himself down. In the morning, his nerves get to him and he ends up calling Ivan. Since he was still nervous, Jasper was unable to hold a conversation, making Ivan suspicious. Finn and Callie leave the apartment and wait in their car for Ivan to arrive. When he does arrive, he immediately tells Jasper that he knows someone has been telling Jasper who to bet on. At first, Jasper tries to deny it, but when Ivan takes a baseball bat and starts wreaking havoc in his apartment, he ends up telling Ivan that someone has been telling him where to place his bets. Before he can tell him about the machine, Callie angrily walks into the apartment and hands him a new picture. The picture shows Finn painting a nude Callie and a silhouette of a man watching them from outside. As soon as Ivan notices the picture, he leaves the apartment. Callie tells Jasper to leave as well so they can recreate the picture. Finn is almost done with the painting when Callie notices that Ivan and his goon Marcus are the ones watching her, not Jasper. Sometime later, Ivan walks back into the apartment and forces Jasper to tell him the truth. He reveals that he had recognized his own silhouette, which is why he had stayed back. He then forces Jasper to write down the bets for him every day so that he can win more money. He also tells Jasper that he will be keeping all of the pictures as collateral. Finn wants to call the police, but Jasper reminds him of the dangerous people they're dealing with. He then suggests that Jasper should take a picture of the photograph before handing it over to Ivan. The next night, as the new picture comes out, Jasper quickly takes a photo before handing it over to Marcus. When he returns to the apartment, he shows the picture to his friends and they notice something off about it. Finn points towards the painting of a skull and claims that it looks like a warning from the future. The three of them begin to feel paranoid, expecting the worst to happen the next day. That night, Callie asks Finn if they should leave, but he brushes her concerns off and tells her that they can't leave Jasper alone to deal with Ivan. Jasper, who is standing outside their room, overhears the conversation and hides weapons around the apartment. The next evening, Finn goes outside to lock up when he notices Big Joe at the gate. Joe informs Finn that he had been promoted to detective and hands him his business card. Finn nervously accepts it while keeping an eye on Marcus, who is watching the two of them. He returns to his apartment and tells his friends about the interaction, causing an argument to break out as Jasper reveals that he has hidden weapons around the apartment as a precaution. Despite this, they recreate the picture as Finn paints the skull. Sometime later, Ivan visits them and starts asking Finn questions about Big Joe. Ivan does not trust them and tells them that he is going to kill them. Just then, Jasper tells Ivan that he is going to die, according to the new picture. Paranoid, Ivan goes to check while Jasper tricks Marcus into moving closer to him and then stabs him. When Ivan returns, he finds Jasper missing and asks Callie where he is. At that moment, Jasper jumps out of hiding and kills Ivan as well. With Finn's help, he drags the two bodies to the storage unit where they had found Mr. B's body. That night, a woman knocks on their door and asks them where Mr. B is. They try to lie to her, but she notices his hat in their apartment and threatens to shoot them if they don't tell her the truth. Finn and Jasper end up telling her that they had found Mr. B's body. The woman, who was called Dr. Heidecker, reveals that she was working on the experiment with Mr. B, but he had made advancements in his experiment. She also tells them that he died because of an accident and not because he messed with the cardinal rule of time. Finn is shocked to hear this and wants to ask more questions, but Jasper kills Dr. Heidecker. He then goes back to the apartment and recreates the latest photo of him posing with the money. Callie helps him get the angle right for Mr. B's apartment and then calls the boys over to see the new picture. To everyone's surprise, it's a picture of Callie and Jasper getting intimate, with Finn passed out on the couch behind him. Finn refuses to recreate the picture, which is why Jasper knocks him out and locks him in the storage unit. He spends that night trying to break out of the storage unit and finally manages to free himself. He goes to Mr. B's apartment with a bucket full of water and calls Jasper. He threatens to destroy the machine if he does not let Callie leave. Callie takes Jasper's gun and goes to pack a bag. However, Jasper takes this chance to knock Finn down using a golf club. Just before he can kill Finn, Callie comes up behind Jasper and hits him on the head, killing him instantly. Callie then tells Finn that the picture has changed and shows him a photo with police tape around their apartment. Still recovering from the beating Jasper had given him, Callie suggests that he should lie down. Not being able to relax, Finn goes outside to check on Callie and notices the camera flashing. Since she's caught, Callie confesses that the camera takes two pictures, one at 8 a.m., and one at 8 p.m. She had been taking pictures in the morning with messages for her future self and had orchestrated everything. She confesses that the picture of her with Jasper was taken before they had even discovered the machine because Finn had been ignoring her and she wanted to gain his attention back. Furious, Finn refuses to side with her and is about to leave when she shoots him. The next morning, she poses in front of the camera with new messages just as Big Joe walks in front of their window. The movie ends with Big Joe arresting Callie and the last picture with police tape around the apartment getting recreated. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed the content. Like and share in the comments any movies you would like us to recap.